Wait, that's not the graphic I wanted to use. There we go. Let's use that graphic instead. So welcome back. It was nice meeting everybody, and it was nice being at TooManyGames. I'll tell you a little bit about it. I have a couple pictures. I'll show you some pictures. I'll talk about it, and then we'll begin Shovelware Showcase. Why am I doing Shovelware Showcase? Because I have too many games. You laugh. I cry. Seriously, you guys kept giving me trash. I had some, like, from a while back, but in particular, this weekend, I ended up coming back with more shit than I went up there with. So, you know, I brought a Nutty Putty. I made 300 Nutty Putties. I didn't make them myself. It's not that kind of thing. But, you know, the Vinesauce nut, and a lot of people got them. I brought maybe 280 of them. They were gone by day 2. So if you didn't get a Nutty Putty at TooManyGames, I'm sorry. There's always next year. This year, though, people gave me all kinds of garbage. And good stuff, too. I got some really cool books. I'll tell you about them in a minute. But I'm going to say that the convention itself was crazy. It was large. It was streamlined. I think they did a really good job with the show floor. It's a smaller convention if you've never been. And it's just outside Philadelphia. And they did a really good job at, like, kind of organizing things and creating a little bit more space. And we had a really cool booth that was in a good position. We weren't too far from Charles Martinet, who was a sweetheart of a human being. I'll tell you about him. I feel pretty good. You know, I met so many people. It's weird viewing myself the way you view me. And I got a little dose of that this weekend. And, you know, I'm not a very sentimental person overly, but all I can really say is, really? That many of you came to this convention to meet me? Really? To be fair, though, most people were great. Most people were awesome. A couple people came to me, hey, Vin, you got any more nut? All right, well, that's my own fault. I deserve that. But I was expecting it, so that's fine. And, you know, I had buttons to give out, too, and there's a lot of cool stuff. Postcards for the charity stream, posters for the charity stream. Those went pretty quick. The postcards we had for a couple of days. I think I signed easily like 500 or 600 things overall. I'm fine. Reports of my knees being destroyed are greatly exaggerated. The problem is when you're sitting and people want you to sit down, stand up, sit down, stand. Oh, that's a good BRB for later. You know, my knees are fine. They're not going to explode like Kyle's, you know, when he became a basketball player. Anyway, the point is, my knees are okay. It was more my right, like, leg was kind of a little weird lately, but it feels really good now. But when you're sitting and standing and sitting and standing and, like, taking pictures, it kind of sucks. So I just kind of, like, got to a point where I was like, hey, can you just, like, come over here and take a picture? I'm just going to sit and you can, like, you can just kneel. Take a knee. Go ahead, kneel. And they were like, yes. And I was like, good. But then some people I stood for because it wasn't going to work. But it really, you know, it was great. And people were really, really chill. And, yeah, again, I'm just floored at the amount of people that were there. So that is amazing. If I didn't meet you this weekend, there's always next year. I think I signed for... I didn't have a moment to myself until I streamed Mario Tennis with Imakuni. And I did, by the way. If you want a secret hidden bonus stream, you have to go to Imakuni's channel and check out the video, the VOD, because I streamed Mario Tennis for like an hour with her and Fred Knudsen, who makes Down the Rabbit Hole, which is a great video series, and Konome, of course. And we had a good time with that. So if you missed that, you might want to check that out. Tonight I'm also going to be streaming some Mario Tennis, but of course we'll get to shovelware in just a minute. Really, I'm not going to go into too many details, and I'm going to say that 99%, as usual, 99% of the people there were so incredibly nice and very respectful and chill. I will say that. 99%. Very good. I did meet some other people, some YouTubers and stuff. If I remember who they are, I'll tell you, but I met Ant Dude. He was really nice. DA Gaming, right? Will, I met him. Mountain Dew is always great. I think Stealthy Moose is the name she's going by, but creator of Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. Yeah. So, kind of cool. I'm going to just read some questions in chat there. I see some questions. The answer is no. But I did meet some other people, and mostly I didn't have a chance to because I was too busy to... Oh, yeah, Cat Icarus. I met him. He was great. And I definitely... The 1% of people, it was even probably less than 1%, but like 0.10% of people, were the ones that were... Well, it got a little interesting, but that's okay. You know what? I loved it. I had a great fucking time, and the weather was mostly good. A little rain, a couple days, but I got to see where the fucking Blob was filmed with James, Rolf, and Mike, Matinee, and Jabroni. You know him. And that was cool. And there was some Duxu, and I got like some cool stuff. Including, like I said, some trash. Eventually, I'll tell you all the stuff I got. I got some cool books. I got a David Bowie book. Thank you for that. You know who you are. A Sid Mead book. Thank you. You know who you are. And a Bloodborne strategy guide. Thank you. You know who you are. Very, very happy about those books. So, thank you again, everybody. It was a great time for me. And I really loved meeting everyone, even though I didn't really have more than 10 minutes to myself at any given moment at this convention. Somehow, which is a fine problem to have in my case, I really enjoyed getting out of the house and out into the open where I could meet the chat. Also, my panel was, as usual, totally unprepared, and I gave out some stuff, and it was fun. So... really, that's the best I can say is thank you. I'll show you a couple pictures and then we'll get started. There he is. I met him. He was great. This is a guy who also spent a lot of time meeting his fans, and he was so upbeat. And I didn't get a chance to see his panel. I hope it'll be online at some point. But, he was tired. I met him when I could sneak away for a minute, and he had also met tons of people. And he's, like 30 years older than me. So, but he still had energy, and he was still happy. Like, I conk out after a certain amount of time, and I'm like done, but I still put in as much effort as I can, and I could tell he was really tired. But you know what he did? Talk about class act. This dude, I mean, you can see it. He did the voices of each character as he signed it, and I told him, thank you. It's really nice to meet you, and I want you to know that you're a hero of mine, and I'm just amazed at how well you do with your fans, and thank you for giving so much to them. And he said thank you, and he said, well, where are you from? I said, I'm from New York. I said, I'm from where Mario's from. And he went, woohoo. So that was pretty cool. I did not ask him to do a voice. I did not tell him I did a voice, but I was just really happy to meet him, and it was a really incredible guest. And I didn't really get a chance to talk to him for too long, and I didn't want to bother him because I know kind of a little bit how it is. But I saw him at the hotel, and I kind of just waved, and he was just doing his thing. It just seems like a sweet man. And I didn't meet Bowser, sadly, but Bowser was there, Doug Kenny, and Well, you know, the voice of Eggman was there too. Yep. I met him. Mike Pollock was there. I spoke to him, and you know, it's funny because I'm doing Shovelware Showcase today. I'll tell you that story while I'm doing Shovelware Showcase because it'll make a good, it'll make a really good part 2 to the previous stream. But this isn't actually a poster. This is like the size of just like a book, you know. So anyway, it was really, really nice. What else? That was the bar at the hotel. I guess that's a goose, right? But, you know, I took a picture of that. Here's the theater where they filmed The Blob in Phoenixville. And that was cool. This is the famous Bobcat. That is not a Bobcat. Don't worry about it. And this is unrelated to TooManyGames in any way, shape, or form. And that's it. That's actually every picture I took. That's it. You can see my interests are very strange when it comes to busting out my phone. I had this incredible like place that I was at, and I just took those 4 pictures. And that was, so people are like, oh, Vinny, did you take pictures? Did you record the convention? Yep. Those are it. That's it. I don't know. I'm a fucking weird dude. So, yeah. Over the next couple days, weeks, whatever, I'm sure I'll have a couple stories. It's tough for me to remember everything at once. My travels were safe and very, very good. The weather was great. The roads were clear. And I'm very grateful and happy about that. And but yeah, I'm sure if anything pops up, I'll be sure to mention it. None of it is bad. It's all going to be good, whatever I mention. There is some funny shit, I'm sure, but my memory banks are just so fried. So give me some time. Eventually we'll get there. But yeah, some panel questions. I'm sure the panel will be uploaded at some point. I think there's going to be a little bit of work on it, and then it'll be uploaded. So if you want to see that for some reason, eventually that'll be available. And eventually I'll also tell you some of the other stuff I got, and you'll probably see some of it on stream. And I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to get started.